Fox News' Greg Gutfeld is the king of late night as his ratings for his conservative late night show crush the leftist Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert. We're going to look at the latest ratings. We're going to see why precisely Gutfeld is crushing it. And make sure to stick with me at the very end of this video when I'll show you why Gutfeld's success may be only the beginning. You are not going to want to miss this. Greetings, everyone. It's me, Dr. Steve, your Patriot Professor, here to help you to think better so you can feel better in these crazy and turbulent times. So if you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. And gang, it is Wednesday, which means that I can finally announce the where and the when you could see our controversial, uncancelable movie, The Return of the American Patriot, The Rise of Pennsylvania. The movie that is inviting patriots to stand up courageously against the woke mob and be inspired by faith, family, and freedom no matter where you live. All right, so this Thursday, tomorrow, I'm opening up pre-sales for tickets to the virtual premiere in early September. This means tickets are extremely discounted for a limited time. This Thursday, I'll send you the link, but you don't want to miss this. So do not miss the movie. Make sure you're on the virtual premiere wait list by clicking on the link below or going to turleyproductions.com. All right, gang, let's dive right in here. This is just an amazing week. I'm just going to be blunt. Look, first we got Trump's polls higher than ever before, along with his fundraising. Then we got Liz Cheney getting humiliated in Wyoming. And now the ratings are in for late night television, and Fox News' Greg Gutfeld is officially king. Greg's done it. In the words of the Western Journal, Gutfeld ruled late night America last week as his show topped the 11 p.m. time slot. His show, Gutfeld, averaged a total audience of 2.4 million viewers. He beat out the ultra-leftist hack Stephen Colbert, who came in with 2.1 million viewers. Very, very sad and pathetic viewers at that, I might say. And that topped Jimmy Fallon, who came in at 1.3 million viewers. And dead last, the never funny and very untalented Jimmy Kimmel, who barely topped 1 million viewers. You know, that's embarrassing. I mean, Kimmel should throw in the towel. I mean, come on. When a borderline illiterate like Colbert can 2x your audience, I don't know. I mean, I would be thinking you're being called to something else, but hey, that's just me. Needless to say, Gutfeld left his cable news competitors in the dust. CNN's Don Lemon, who's in a comparable time slot, he got barely 600,000 viewers. I mean, gang, this channel can get that in a day. Me with my little camera, my little microphone there. I'm competing with a multi-billion-dollar news corporation like CNN. It's so sad. Now, to put this into context, I know a lot of you have asked over the years, given the radical partisanization of late-night television that we see with Colbert and Kimmel, where is the thoroughly conservative version of late night, right? In many ways, Johnny Carson was, if you think it through, he was always classy. He was always extremely witty. His guests were top-notch. He had classical musicians on, some of the best up-and-coming comics. He even had George Carl on his show, who's an old vaudeville performer. He was on there a couple of times and did one of his original vaudeville acts. But since Carson, there really has not been a good conservative alternative to all the leftist shilling and virtue signaling that's spewed out night after night on Kimmel and Colbert. Well, that is precisely the niche that Greg Gutfeld is filling. Gutfeld is funny. He's witty. He's insightful. He's got great guests. He's periodically passionate, but he never takes himself too seriously. And his humor and his wit are grounded in basic common sense conservatism, which makes his observations about the world and particularly the mainstream media not just funny, but enlightening. In short, he is both humorous and insightful, and that is clearly the key to his success. By contrast, both Kimmel and Colbert come across as spiteful, hateful, bitter. You know, Norm Macdonald, the amazing comedian who left us too soon, once quipped that he despised Alec Baldwin's impersonations of Trump. And it was so interesting because he said that if you want an impersonation to work, you've got to like the person you're impersonating. Otherwise, it comes across as a vile form of mockery. And Macdonald never found that funny. And God rest his soul. He was wonderful. But there is a broader cultural development behind this venomous comedy that characterizes Colbert and Kimmel. We've talked about this before on other videos, but both Kimmel and Colbert have deliberately attempted to partisanize their shows. They have deliberately sought to turn their shows into shills for all things left-wing. It's basically a different kind of business model that's responding to the increasing segmentization of viewing audiences that's happened as a result of our multiple channels. So whereas Johnny Carson was appearing on late night when you only had a few channels to choose from, right? ABC, NBC, CBS, all that. Now, of course, you've got thousands of channels to choose from. I mean, you bring the internet in, you literally have countless channels and venues to watch. So the audiences have been increasingly segmented. And so what the producers at the late night shows have been doing is they've decided to partisanize their show, deliberately turning their shows into shows that rabid left-wing liberals would want to watch, right? And that's normal because the producers of these shows are generally left-wing liberals. And as I understand it, it was Stephen Colbert of CBS that first made the move to deliberately reach out to left-wing audiences. He made mocking and ridiculing President Trump and his supporters a centerpiece of his act. And in so doing, he quickly overtook Jimmy Fallon of NBC in the ratings. And so what Colbert effectively did was he changed the business model of late-night television. And as a result of Colbert's success in taking over first place among the three major late-night shows, the old late-night business model that sought to entertain people of all political persuasions became effectively replaced by a hyper-partisan approach that sought to actively engage only a single political demographic, in this case, the anti-Trump liberal secularist persuasion, subjecting any and all pro-Trump conservative persuasions as objects of constant scorn and ridicule. And Jimmy Kimmel gave a perfect example of this. But before we get into that, gang, with possible lockdowns coming our way via monkeypox, my good friend Josh Siglowski, co-founder of ERC Specialists, is making sure that you and your business can thrive. His business, ERC Specialists, is a specialty payroll company exclusively dedicated to understanding and maximizing the CARES Act Employee Retention Credit. That's what ERC stands for. Employee Retention Credit for small businesses affected negatively by shutdown. So if you're a small business owner looking to get up to $26,000 per employee back from Bumble and Biden, click that link in the description below to see if you qualify today. It is an absolutely amazing opportunity. All right, so you may remember that when Jimmy Kimmel was asked about whether he was worried about losing Republican viewers by virtue of his attempt to attract the same anti-Trump liberal base that Colbert had effectively co-opted into his audience, Kimmel basically said, good riddance. Actually, he said, rather than saying good riddance, I'd just say riddance, which again is frankly so unclever on his part. It's so uncreative. He's not funny. He's intellectually lazy. But we have to understand that comment was scripted. It was purposeful. What Kimmel was doing there is he was pushing forward this business model. He and his producers recognized that whenever he said anything inflammatory against Trump and his supporters, his ratings went up. Same with Colbert. And so the business model that the producers of these late night programs are pushing is one that goes after niche markets, particularly political niche markets. And this appears to be what Colbert and Kimmel have over Jimmy Fallon of The Tonight Show. Jimmy Fallon tends to stay away from the political niche markets. But as a result, he's seen his ratings decline. And so what Colbert and Kimmel are doing is they're trying to become the late night kings of this ever more partisan yet ever more diminishing and dwindling market share. And by the way, they could not hold a candle against greats like Johnny Carson. Johnny Carson used to get 3 to 5 times the viewership that any one of these late night clowns can get. So all of this sets the stage for the conservative alternative to enter into the mix, and that is where we have Greg Gutfeld of Fox News. Gutfeld's late night show is attracting an audience size that these left-wing liberals could only dream of having. So well done, Greg Gutfeld. I hope it is the beginning of many more wonderful things to come for a new conservative late night show. As always, make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. Definitely check out my latest video I just uploaded on the funniest memes celebrating the colossal loss of one Liz Cheney. You're going to absolutely love it. So make sure to click on that link, and I'll see you over there. God bless.